incision to use. It's called a round block technique, and as you can see, when we mark the incision, we take two concentric rings, one at the areolar margin and one about 4 to 5 millimeters concentrically away from that. And this is ideally, again, for the central quadrant tumors and for the main retroareolar tumors that we see. But generally, this incision can also be used to access areas which are a little bit away from the central quadrant. Now, you have to remember that this technique is not good for superficial tumors. It's only good for your deeper central tumors or tumors that are located a little bit in the periphery away from the central quadrant. So technically, this is what we do. The ring of tissue or the ring of tissue in between the two incisions is de-epithelialized, and then we use that outer skin ring as the main area from where we can access the tumors in the breast and then go from there. The outer edge of this skin is raised in a flap-like fashion. These flaps are kept thick, and we do not take thin flaps the way Huma just described. They are used to go down to the area of the tumor. If the tumor is palpable, we take a margin of about 1 centimeter around it by gross palpation. If we use wire localization techniques, then according to the imaging, we access the tumor area, take a negative margin, but this is where the access is taken from. The lesions are resected from the subcutaneous planes, and usually for palpable tumors, we go down to pectoralis major fascia. For wire localization, smaller tumors, we don't have to go down to the pec fascia to do this. The important thing for those of you who are going to be practicing cancer surgery, it's important to remember that the cavity where the tumor is taken out from has to be marked with clips. So you are accessing it from a remote location, you're going periareolar towards the tumor. Please remember to park clips in all 4 dimensions when you resect the tumor so that your radiation colleagues will know where to radiate these. These breast flaps are then mobilized, they are reapproximated. The outer ring is then stitched up to the inner ring. Absorbable sutures are used, and the end results usually are pretty good. What I'm showing you is actually an incision that had delayed healing. So even in the worst of scenarios, the scar will not be too unbecoming, and this actually is a pretty good cosmetic outcome if these are small tumors which are accessed from here. Like I said, deep retroareolar tumors or periareolar tumors can easily be accessed by this particular technique. Again, this is like a cartoon depiction of what we did. This is a superior quadrant tumor which is being accessed through this technique, and a complete periareolar incision is then stitched up and cleaned up. I personally have used this incision on very, very rare occasions, and at Shaukat these days we are doing a multicentric breast cancer trial. It's a prospective randomized trial in which we're randomizing patients with multicentric breast cancers, both ductal and lobular, to either breast conservation or mastectomy to see how these patients fare. And I think that these central quadrant techniques, and especially this technique I've used for multicentric tumors, because usually if there's a single tumor, then the other techniques such as the crescent mammoplasty work out better, because then you don't really have to take a concentric ring. But if you have multicentric tumor disease, then the concentric ring really works well, because then you can take out different tumors in different quadrants of the breast through that same single incision. And that's basically what I'm doing. My single tumors I do not take out through that technique. The next technique that I use is the crescent mammoplasty for the central segment tumors. And as you can see by the depiction, usually what we do is that this is sort of like a partial or a hemi-round block technique, and it's suitable usually for tumors which are either in the medial lateral or in the superior quadrants of the breast. The crescent mammoplasty works in the least effective manner on inferior quadrant and causes a lot of distortion of tissue in the inferior quadrant. So I personally don't use the crescents in the inferior quadrant at all. It causes, the incision may be nice to look at when it's done, but it causes a lot of changes in the shape of the breast, especially after radiation. So I do not use the crescent mammoplasty for the inferior segment tumors. So this is a small tumor, periareolar, off of the areolar margin. and an incision can be taken either all around the areola or up to 3/4 of the areola. A concentric skin ellipse is taken around it. Especially for superficial tumors, it really works well because then you don't have to worry about your anterior margins. And taking that ellipse of skin out, along with the tissue underneath it and along with the margin of normal tissue, will actually give a really good cosmesis and not give you a lot of redundant skin, which can become a problem later on with radiation therapy. Again, the rule applies. Palpable lesions will go down to pec fascia. The fascia has to be your deep margin from an oncological point of view. For lesions which are localized by wire localization or seed localization and are small lesions, usually less than 15 millimeters in size, we don't really need to go down to pec fascia unless the lesion is very deep. The breast parenchyma may or may not be approximated. Actually, when I was in training, we were trained not to put stitches in the deeper tissue of the breast because that causes a lot of distortion, especially after radiation. And I've tried doing both during my practice through the years, and I'm still more comfortable not really approximating the deep tissue too much. For smaller tumors, it works very well. There's a small amount of seroma that will develop, and that will fill up the gap nicely. And tissue approximation is hardly ever needed unless you're doing like a bigger flat rotation. The two incisions are then approximated. The outer incision is always a little bit more redundant than the inner incision, but when you're doing them by dividing the incision in half, it generally closes really well. So these are the incisions that I use for my central segment periareolar tumors, and I usually do them for the superior medial and lateral segments. Just a quick view of the batwing technique, and I use the batwing technique a little bit with a modification because I generally do a hemi-batwing, and I'll tell you how I do that. The batwing incision looks something like this. In figure B, you can see that we have this formation of a semicircle and on two ends there's two hemi-triangles. And at the end, the aim is to actually close the incision in this form with two little wings on the two sides of the areola. The good thing about this incision is that it gives you a lot of exposure. When we take this incision, the entire superior quadrant, as well as parts of the medial and lateral quadrants, can be accessed. And I remove quite a few of my central quadrant tumors, even with retroareolar extension through these. Because if you leave enough margin on the nipple on the other side, about 2 millimeters or so, the areola will stay viable. And even the central tumors and retroareolar tumors can be taken out very nicely with this. In case of a lopsided, non-central tumor, if it's more medial or more lateral, then I will not take one of the wings of this batwing and do sort of like a hemi-batwing incision. And at the end, usually with the closure, the cosmetic result is very good, and we're not compromising on oncologic safety in these patients at all. This is actually a really wide batwing technique in which a large superior quadrant tumor was taken out in an obese lady who had a lot of comorbidities. And we actually wanted to take this tumor out because it was good biological tumor and we couldn't give her neoadjuvant chemotherapy to downstage her. It's important to note for most of you that in the present era where most of the patients will undergo some sort of systemic treatment at all times, our preference, especially at my institution, is to do neoadjuvant treatment and to downstage these tumors. So maybe by the time you guys graduate and go into practice, the actual big tumors will be very, very rare. There's the occasional mucinous cancer or the colloid cancers which will be there, or your phylloides which you might have to take out with these incisions. But generally for your ductal and lobular cancers, they'll be downstaged before you actually go ahead to resect them. So this again is a big tumor, sort of eccentric superior quadrant. A batwing incision was taken. And this is kind of just a quick schema of how we took it out. The tumor was taken out, the incision was sewn up again. And usually you can remove up to 20 or 25% of the breast tissue with this technique without really causing too much of tissue discrepancy and volume discrepancy in the breast. The Grossotti flap actually is my favorite central quadrant technique, and I was trained to apply these in patients who had adequate breast volume. I put that down there on the slide because 10 years ago when I was in training, 15 years ago, we were told that these techniques could not be done with very skinny women because you need adequate breast volume to be able to do this. I have actually done it on a few ladies who did not have too much volume, smaller cup sizes, and the results have been almost equally good. So I'm going to change that statement a little bit and then just tell you that even with women with smaller breast volume, for central quadrant tumors, especially those involving the nipple areola, those that are very, very superficial and in whom you are making the decision between doing a mastectomy or saving the breast and removing the nipple areola, this is really an excellent technique to go through. The nipple areola complex can be removed, and you're not even giving it a second thought because the reconstruction of the nipple areola is really, really good later on. And for these superficial tumors, this is just a schema of what we do. There's a circular incision around the areola. The areola is, and I usually just start off with this incision. The tumors are either directly sitting behind the nipple or there's a wire parked into the tip of a tumor which has been downstaged in the central segment. So for these tumors, I generally will not even take the rest of the incisions before I take my cancer out. So focusing on the disease, this central segment is removed along with the tissue underneath it, including the viral localizations. And then, as you can see in this depiction, in the diagram, the deeper tissue below in the inferior segment is mobilized, it is rotated, and then this new skin patch, which is circular in the form of an areola, will come up and fill in this gap. On a patient, this is kind of what it looks like. Central tumor nipple retraction is evident in this lady. It was a small tumor just stuck to the terminal ducts. The tumor is resected, oriented, and sent away, and once your cancer operation is completed, then you can go to the rest of the surgery. This is the new skin patch which will replace the nipple areola. The rest of this tissue is de-epithelialized, and then the skin is closed back so that you sort of have a S-shaped incision and then the skin patch which goes back in the gap of the nipple areola. This can either be tattooed or a new nipple areola can be reconstructed in this particular skin patch. And we usually do that after the radiation therapy has been completed, and about 6 months are given to the patient to recover from the side effects of radiation treatment. So I'm just going to conclude really quickly. Central quadrant tumors. Now the option of VCT is very, very real and very safe. Radiation is tolerated well because it is all autologous tissue. And we're very excited that we procured the tattooing machine. So we're going to be able to tattoo all the Grossottis that we've done in the last few years. And our residents are really excited that they'll be able to tattoo a lot more than just that. But anyways, thank you so much for your attention, and I hope that you will have a little bit of an idea what to choose the next time you have the central quadrant breast cancer.
ट्रेनिंग में किया हुआ है, पाकिस्तान में नहीं किया।